Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Preeti Kaur. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to release 109 high-yielding, climate-resilient and bio-fortified varieties of crops in New Delhi. Securities and Exchange Board of India chairperson denies Hindenburg allegations, labels it as character assassination. Hindenburg accuses SEBI chief of holding stake in Adani's offshore entities. Polls show Democratic candidate Kamala Harris takes lead over Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump in 3 key states in the U.S. presidential race. And in sports, the Indian contingent finishes the Paris Olympics campaign with 5 bronze and 1 silver medals to their name. Legendary Indian shooter Abhinav Bindra receives the prestigious Olympic order. As part of the government's plan to revitalize agriculture and boost food security, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will release 109 high-yielding, climate-resilient and bio-fortified varieties of crops in New Delhi. Prime Minister Modi will release 109 varieties of 61 crops, which will include 34 field crops and 27 horticultural crops. Among the field crops, seeds of various cereals, including millets, forage crops, oilseeds, pulses, sugarcane, cotton, fiber and other potential crops will be released. Among the horticultural crops, different varieties of fruits, vegetable crops, plantation crops, tuber crops, spices, flowers and medicinal crops will be released. Prime Minister will also interact with the farmers and scientists on the occasion. Indian Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri is visiting Nepal on a 2-day visit. India's Foreign Secretary is visiting Nepal at the invitation of the Foreign Secretary of Nepal, Seva Lansal. The 2 foreign secretaries will discuss various matters on further strengthening India-Nepal relations amid advancing the mutually beneficial cooperation. India and Nepal share an age-old civilizational, cultural and people-to-people connect. This visit of Foreign Secretary will be an opportunity to further advance the bilateral ties between the 2 nations. India on Saturday opened its resident mission in Albania as part of the efforts to expand its footprint in the Balkan Peninsula. India's Ministry of External Affairs in a statement said that operationalization of the Indian mission in Albania will help in expanding India's diplomatic footprint. It will also deepen political relations between India and Albania and would assist in growth of bilateral trade, promote investments and economic engagements and cooperation on multilateral issues. The statement further reads, the Indian mission in Tirana will facilitate people-to-people contacts and also assist the Indian community in Albania. The Securities and Exchange Board of India, or SEBI's chairperson Madhavi Puri Buch and her husband Dhaval Buch have denied the allegations made by US-based short seller Hindenburg. In a statement, the couple said that their lives and finances are an open book and that all disclosures have already been furnished to SEBI over the years. They added that they have no hesitation in disclosing any and all the financial documents. The couple also said that Hindenburg Research, against whom SEBI has taken an enforcement action, has chosen to attempt character assassination in response to the same. Shama Mishra joins us from Mumbai. Shama, the SEBI chairperson has been accused in the sense that Hindenburg has laid down allegations against the SEBI chief, the SEBI chairperson and her husband. Let us know more in detail about the allegations. What are the allegations? And though we know about the SEBI chief's response, but then what immediate fallout could the allegations have? How grave are the allegations?
Coming out from a foreign short seller, a foreign paper, and now Hindenburg had earlier also come out with a similar report on Adani Group, wherein there were mishappenings happening in the entire way of working. and there were illegitimate transactions and everything. Now, in between, SEBI had given a notice to Hindenburg that you have you've made allegations and everything. Now, Hindenburg has come out yesterday with a report saying that SEBI chief Madhi Puri Butch and her husband Double Butch, they have their interests in the Adani Group, Adani's brother, his company, and that is how they have their investments in obscure offshore funds, which is which is a concealed offshore funds. Now they have also accused them that there are multiple options in India in mutual funds and other investments of options. But why haven't they invested here and gone out in international options? So that is one thing. They have also furnished or published the whistleblowers documents wherein Madhi Puri Butch and her husband, they have the investments showing in that. However, Madhi Puri Butch and her husband, they've come out with a joint statement. You've already read that. And they've clearly said that this is all a false allegation and character assassination. And they've said that the investments were done when they were private citizens and not when she was SEBI chief. Also, now Adani has come out with an official statement, which they have given it to the exchanges, that this entire accusation or allegation is malicious, and they've time and again tried to false framing Adani Group. And there has been a lot of reactions coming out from various sections of society. Now we are talking about opposition as well. So opposition is now demanding some kind of clarity on that, some kind of action on that. However, there have been several, the business background or the legal background. They have come out and they've supported the Indian side and said that such reports by the Hindenburg is quite, it's red herring and it's quite misleading. And this is a kind of a propaganda that the international or the foreign papers are doing to, to frame Indian, they are trying to not promote the good things that are happening in India, but trying to misframe and promote the wrong things, promote the false things that are not even happening in India. So this is now, they published a report. There'll be several reactions. Madhi Puri Butch, today being Sunday, they've just issued a statement. Now we will have to go for, we will have to wait further. What really happens? Would there be more bites coming in? Would there be more audio reactions on it, visual reactions on it? We will have to wait and see how really happens.
All right, you talked of the allegations, but then how grave is this issue, Shyama? Though we tell our viewers that enforcement action has been taken by SEBI against Hindenburg, but then, how do you gauge the immediate fallout, the consequences of this issue?
So since this is a foreign paper and they've just reported their report, they've done some research, they've collected some documents, and the way they are framing things, that the way they are putting things, it's correct from their end, but it may not be proper, it may not be correct in the set where Indian standards are setting. So now we are seeing that earlier they had come out with the same, the earlier report that I was talking about how Adani Group, they are into the offshore foreign funds and there have been illegitimate transactions, and they have pointed out that. Now they are saying that SEBI, even after giving all these evidences, they didn't take any action against Adani Group. And this matter had gone in the Supreme Court as well. And Supreme Court had also taken up this matter with the SEBI, where SEBI had, where they pointed out that SEBI had not said where the source is. They've not given the proper, they've not said that who actually, why did it happen and how did it. So they've left that thing, that particular thing blank. But they've said that yes, this matter has been closed by the SEBI. Now, SEBI has also in between given that show cause notice to Hindenburg. It could very well be concluded that Hindenburg may have retaliated with this kind of report. But yes, now we are talking about consequences. There will be, now the image of SEBI chief Madhi Puri Butch, this is definitely tarnished because the whole world is reading this report. And if there are no wrongdoings from their end, it is definitely a wrong thing from the Hindenburg part. But yes, it is being this entire thing is being investigated. There will be several sections which will be investigating. Even SEBI would be taking some particular action, or SEBI chief would be taking some action. Like I said, we would be also waiting for more reactions to come in from their end. But yes, we will have to wait what kind of reaction could be coming in, going forward, because this is SEBI that we are talking about. This is the regulator which is regulating various entities, various markets in the country, and such a grave allegation or accusation on the SEBI chief, it's really concerning. So going forward, a lot of sections would be coming in, and they would be discussing how to go about these things. And the documents that has been given in this particular report, it is also showing that they had their investments, but there also has been this kind of information where once she became the SEBI chief, the entire investment or the the ownership was transferred to her husband's name, so it was not in her name. So all these things are there, and it will be really thoroughly checked legally, and then a certain decision or a certain way of reaction would be coming out soon.
All right, Shama, we'll leave it here. Thank you for joining in with those details. And now we get to updates from Bangladesh. Thousands of minority community members staged a massive protest in Bangladesh's capital and Chittagong on Saturday, the second consecutive day, demanding protection amid nationwide vandalism that saw attacks on temples and households and businesses. The continuing violence comes as a massive challenge for the interim government in the country, which was sworn in on Thursday under the leadership of Chief Advisor Muhammad Yunus. On Friday, Bangladesh Hindu, Buddhist, Christian Oika Parishad sent an open letter to the head of interim government, Muhammad Yunus, expressing concerns over violence against the minorities. Professor Muhammad Yunus condemned on Saturday the attacks on minority communities, calling them heinous. He urged youth of the country to protect families of minority communities from harm.
In the means of revolution, Bangladesh will create.
A large number of people gathered outside the White House in Washington, D.C. to protest against the attacks on the minority Hindu community in Bangladesh. The protesters urged the U.S. government to take action over the incidents of violence. They also called on American authorities to condemn the atrocities. Widespread violence has been reported against Hindus in Bangladesh after the fall of the Sheikh Hasina government. Back home, 2 Indian Army soldiers were martyred in an encounter with terrorists in North India's Jammu and Kashmir's Anantnag on Saturday. The 2 soldiers were injured in an encounter between security forces and terrorists in Kokarnag area of Anantnag. Based on the reports, a joint operation involving the Indian Army, Jammu and Kashmir Police and the CRPF was launched in the Kokarnag area of Anantnag district. Posting on social media platform X, the Indian Army offered its deepest condolences and said that it stands firmly with the bereaved families in this hour of grief. It has been reported that the operation is underway by the Indian Army to track down terrorists at Alan Gadul in Kokarnag area. In the latest, a civilian has also succumbed to injuries, bringing the death toll in the ongoing operation to 3. Communication is hampered due to the challenging terrain. Search is underway to apprehend the terrorists. Massive protests have erupted among junior doctors and medical professionals in medical colleges and hospitals across the East Indian state of West Bengal following the alleged sexual assault and murder of a female doctor at the state-run medical college and hospital in Kolkata. The Indian Medical Association has condemned the brutal killing of the female doctor, calling it a reflection of administrative incompetence. Taking to microblogging site X, the IMA on Saturday sought an investigation and timely action within 48 hours. Meanwhile, a group of doctors from the Central India's All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Bhopal, held a candlelight march on Saturday evening to mourn the death of the female doctor. Doctors at Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital in India's capital, Delhi, also joined the protests, demanding a CBI investigation into the death. In other news making it to the headlines, the Postal Department of North India's Lucknow launched a unique initiative to deliver Rakhis in special waterproof envelopes priced at just ₹10. This thoughtful move aims to protect the Rakhis from damage caused by rain or accidental spills during the transit, ensuring they reach their destination in perfect condition. These waterproof envelopes are not only affordable but also sturdy, providing an extra layer of protection for the Rakhis. Ahead of Independence Day, a grand Tiranga rally was taken out on the streets of North India's Pulwama. From school children to police officials, the rally witnessed participation of people from all walks of life. The rally presented vibrant display of national pride and unity to celebrate the 78th Independence Day. Renowned sand artist Doordarshan created a mesmerizing sand art of India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi to empower and promote Har Ghar Tiranga campaign. This initiative encourages every Indian household to proudly hoist the national flag as a symbol of unity and patriotism. The sand art, crafted on the beach of Puri in Odisha, depicted a striking image of Prime Minister Modi with the Indian national flag, highlighting Prime Minister's leadership and his call for the nation to come together. You're watching DD India Live. We're heading for a short break, but after the break, US Vice President Kamala Harris pushes for Gaza ceasefire deal amid tensions in West Asia. Ukraine's President Zelensky for the first time acknowledged military operation in Russia's Kursk region. In sports, wait continues for India's Vinesh Phogat as Court of Arbitration defers decision till August 13.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
Welcome back after the break. You're watching DD India Live. US Vice President and Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris is leading her Republican rival, former President Donald Trump, in 3 battleground states of Wisconsin, Pennsylvania and Michigan by 4 points, according to the latest poll. Earlier, an Ipsos poll showed Harris leading Trump nationally 42% to 37% in the race for the November 5th election. Her entry into the race has energized the Democrat camp. President Joe Biden ended his re-election bid on July 21st and endorsed Harris for polls after a disastrous debate performance against Trump in late June. US Vice President and Democratic presidential nominee Kamala Harris pushed for Gaza ceasefire and hostage release deal between Israel and Hamas as tensions in West Asia escalate.
Well, look, first and foremost, and the President and I have been working on this around the clock, we need to get the hostages out. We need a hostage deal and we need a ceasefire. And I can't stress that strongly enough. It needs to get done, the deal needs to get done, and it needs to get done now.
While USA, Egypt and Qatar are trying hard for stitching a ceasefire agreement between Hamas and Israel to facilitate hostage release and saving Gazans from bombings, people in Israel have come on roads in support of such a deal. On Saturday, hundreds of Israelis took part in a demonstration in Tel Aviv, pressing the government for release of all the hostages who are in captivity of Hamas since October 7th last year. Supposedly, those in hostage are in some hideout in Gaza and are also under threat of getting killed either in crossfire between Hamas and Israel or in sporadic bombing of Hamas-held areas. Passionate supporters of hostage deal and ceasefire agreement waved Israeli flags and shouted slogans. Some protesters wearing T-shirts read, "We won't forget, we won't tolerate, we want them home."
I'm not afraid about Iran. We have a very, very, very strong Tzahal military, and we have the United States of America. They are caring about us. We know this.
In a precise operation on Saturday night, Israeli forces killed 19 alleged Hamas and Islamic Jihad terrorists. Israeli officials claim that they were in a hideout that was actually a Hamas command and control center. According to Israel Forces spokesperson, the so-called center was embedded inside a mosque in the Al-Tabain school compound. As per Israeli claims, these terrorists were operating to carry out attacks against IDF soldiers and the state of Israel from inside the compound. Also, no severe damage was caused to the compound where the terrorists were located. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky acknowledged for the first time on Saturday that Ukrainian forces were fighting in Russia's Kursk region. In his daily address to the nation, Zelensky said that the operation was part of Kyiv's drive to restore justice after Russia's 2022 attack.
First of all, I want to acknowledge all our warriors this week, the combat brigades that are effectively defending our state and destroying the occupier. We are paying close attention to the entire front, every direction, every point of combat. Sumy region, Kharkiv region, and all direction in Donetsk region, particularly the most intense ones, Pakrovsk, Toretsk, Kramatorsk, and the south of our country. Everywhere there is something to thank Ukraine soldiers for. Today I received several reports from Commander-in-Chief Syrskyi regarding the front lines and our actions to push the war onto the aggressor's territory. I am grateful to every unit of defense forces ensuring that Ukraine is proving that it can indeed restore justice and ensure the necessary pressure on the aggressor.
Russia on Saturday introduced a counter-terrorism operation regime in its 3 border regions of Kursk, Bryansk and Belgorod. And Belarus summoned the Ukrainian chargé d'affaires on Saturday and told Kyiv to act against airspace violations after Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko said a dozen Ukrainian drones had been destroyed in its airspace. DD India's Dasha Chernishova is in Moscow with more.
With fighting ongoing in Russia's Kursk region, more than 76,000 people have been evacuated from areas bordering Ukraine. Kursk Local Emergencies Ministry released a video showing evacuees arriving to the city of Oryol, 140 kilometers north of Kursk. That comes after Russia's National Anti-Terrorism Committee accused Ukraine of making an unprecedented attempt to destabilize the situation in several Russian regions at once, and introduced a counter-terrorism operations regime in Kursk, Bryansk and Belgorod regions. The measures included possible displacements of the residents, limits on transport in specific areas, beefed up security around sensitive sites and wiretaps on telephone and other communications. Russia's defense ministry said in a statement on Saturday that Russian forces were continuing to repel a Ukrainian incursion. In the meantime, Belarusian President Alexander Lukashenko said that his country has shot down at least a dozen Ukrainian drones. Speaking at a news conference in Minsk, Lukashenko said that Belarusian air defense forces were put into the combat readiness, and radars detected more drones that were heading towards the Russian city of Smolensk, but later changed the direction and flew to the city of Yaroslavl. Lukashenko said that Belarus was beefing up its military on the border with Ukraine. Dasha Chernishova reporting in Moscow for DD India.
And now we get to all the updates from Paris Olympics. India's campaign at the 2024 Paris Olympics concluded on Saturday with 5 bronze and 1 silver medal from the 117-member contingent. India will return with 6 medals from Paris, won by Manu Bhaker, Sarabjot Singh, Neeraj Chopra, Aman Sehrawat, Swapnil Kasale and the men's hockey team. Neeraj Chopra joins the elite club of Sushil Kumar, PV Sindhu to bag medals at 2 consecutive Olympics. Meanwhile, Swapnil Kasale becomes the first Indian to win an Olympic medal in men's 50 meters rifle 3 positions event. Manu Bhaker also created history by becoming the first Indian post-independence to secure 2 medals at a single Olympic edition. India's first individual gold medalist, Abhinav Bindra, was awarded the prestigious Olympic Order by the International Olympic Committee in Paris. The Olympic Order is the highest honor bestowed by the IOC, recognizing individuals who have made outstanding contribution to the Olympic movement. Bindra is a member of the International Olympic Committee Athletes Commission. He is the first Indian to receive this prestigious award. Bindra won gold medal in shooting at Beijing Olympics in 2008. Meanwhile, the Court of Arbitration for Sports has extended time till August 13 for the sole arbitrator, Dr. Annabelle Bennett, in the Indian wrestler Vinesh Phogat versus United World Wrestling case. The hearing on the matter concluded on Friday after it accepted Vinesh's appeal against her ouster for being 100 grams overweight on the morning of her final against eventual gold winner Sarah Hildebrand of USA. In her appeal, Phogat requested a joint silver as she was found overweight after she won the semi-final in Paris. Kenya's Faith Kipyegon creates history as she becomes the first woman to win 3 consecutive Olympic 1500 meters gold medals with a superb display of middle distance running. The 30-year-old 2016 and 2020 champion produced a tactical masterpiece at Paris on Saturday to take gold in a new Olympic record of 3 minutes 51.29 seconds. The reigning world champion can now arguably lay claim to being the greatest women's middle distance runner in history. Australia's Jessica Hull took the silver medal in 3 minutes 52.56 seconds, while UK's Georgia Bell claimed bronze medal in 3 minutes 52.61 seconds. That's it in this edition of DD India Live, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those of you on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on the DD India mobile app. This app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can download the respective QR codes. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Preeti Kaur signing off, and from all of us in Delhi, thanks for watching DD India Live.